Let's see. Oh, the debt. The Jade Empire that rescued her from deaths. Let's see. Hello, folks. Hello. Didn't want to. Dominique's wrath. If he crossed. Ended up. Crosshairs. He hoped she would just. He hoped she would. He hoped she would just incinerate him on the spot, like she did with a lot of other people. He didn't want to get face some mythological sort of fate, being turned into a dog, into a stag, and devoured by wolves, or left some blind, mindless beggar in some deserty part of the world. Something like several more rounds chipped through, shattered windows close more, but then hit him. More didn't hit him, or wouldn't have minded. One had caught him in the head. He pondered other things before ultimately leaving the bus. Higher things for the next 20 minutes till some subordinates of the terrorist chief, Pham Bai Kai. Is that right? Pham Bai Kai, yeah. One anime I saw, the girl was named from Thailand. From Thailand. Like, I don't know. She was Vietnamese, but her name sounded just like from Thailand. I don't know why. Let's see, Pham Bai Kai. The terrorist chief, Pham Bai Kai, came and suggested he get off the truck. He was given a Jade public officer coat, so he wasn't pegged. Sniped by anybody. Body. Two men brought a stretcher and carted the mummy off the bus. She at the back of the bus. Last row. I don't know. Not sure if this is the kind of bus that has like a last row that like covers the whole back. I'm not sure. Are those even allowed anymore? Or were they ever allowed? I mean, don't buses have to have like an emergency exit at the back? This is 1957 and it's not in our world, so maybe such regulations don't exist yet. I'm not sure. God only knows how many people died on buses because there were no safety exits back in the day. Like how people in the old days didn't have seatbelts, so when they got in the car crash, they went flying out the front window, or hit the big heavy hood ornament, and that killed them on the spot. Boy, those early car accidents must have been frickin' messy. Not that modern car accidents are any better, but for some reason, whenever you see a wreck on the news, you don't see a drop of blood anywhere. Even if they say 3 or 4 people died, like an accident that happened a few weeks ago near me. But, well, maybe there are bloody wrecks, but they aren't allowed to show them on the news. Maybe that's why sometimes you see a wreck, sometimes you don't, you know? Brought stretching a car off the back of the bus to wherever the Jade set up their HQ, where they hadn't gotten into the main hangar yet. There was stiff resistance in all directions, and more saw carnage. Lots of carnage about the area. Carnage scattered about the front yard of NCRF. This is the die-hard part of the story, where the terrorists take over, or mostly take over, you know. In Die Hard, it was like a 5-minute scene, but I usually like to give it a nice chapter-long action scene, you know? Because usually it's a bigger place, well, you know. Some skyrise isn't going to have an army of security guards like you would see at a military base, you know. Requires a bit more carnage. Yes, there were bodies everywhere. A few guard dogs. Or saw a few dead guard dogs. Too. Some of them with body armor. Strangely, a lot of guards had died without body armor. Looks like you fellas are having trouble getting in the hangar. Or said to the two Jade with him, acting almost as bodyguards, acting as his bodyguards. There's a temporary setback. One Jade, a sergeant, stripes his shoulders. NCO ranks. NCO ranks. NCO explain. Hopefully Fam isn't a female name all this time. I'm pretty sure Fam is a male name. But that girl from that enemy was called Fam. Fam. That was her name. But maybe the Japanese goofed. Japanese names, they all kind of, a lot of them sound kind of gender neutral. But maybe that's just because I'm a Westerner and I don't speak Vietnamese. So I mean, if you had a Vietnamese person named Flower Pot or something, that'd probably be a girl. Let's see. We Jade love a good fight. And the enemy are not disappointing us. They did have a lot of advantages at the start. More replying. 20 minutes earlier. Front yard of the MCRF. Is this 20 minutes later? Let's see. Houndmaster was having quite a fight. Houndmaster, armed with, was surrounded by Jade soldiers, but felt like he was fighting in a vacuum. Fighting in a vacuum. Just him, his hounds, and the enemy ahead of them, which were numerous. They were MPs, regular troops, and the occasional regular Zedin troops, and the occasional blue uniformed, blue helmeted security man. Yeah, I like the guards from Half-Life, I guess. They had those nice helmets and such. occasionally ran into them and helped them out. They helped you out, you helped them out. Usually it was mostly you helping them out because they tend to get killed by creatures. I thought that was so innovative when I played that. Oh, I actually have help. Some helpful troops helping me. What a revelation. The Resident Evil games, you fight mostly by yourself. Those were games I was most familiar with. But you know, it's a horror story. And in horror, you're supposed to be on your toes, fighting the enemy all by yourself, I guess. Let's see. They were pretty uniform. And armaments. The guards would got into some armories. Been patrolling with just pistols earlier. But they were smart enough to run off to some armory when the fighting started and grabbed a couple of rifles. Houndmaster wondered if they were fellow vets, if the guards were fellow vets of the Jade War. It was truly, it was the World War. It was the war that Houndmaster thought was most deserving. What? Am I stroking out here? Deserving of... I thought I heard someone call my name. It must have been that ghost. I have a ghost in my basement, folks. She's a pale one with straggly, stringy hair, and she has no eyes. Yeah, her eye sockets are empty. Most of her lips are gone too. She's I have no idea who she is, where she came from. I don't know. I don't know why she's haunting my basement. She must not mind all the smell of the bird droppings down there, because that's where I have my birds, my pets. And yeah. Maybe I should put some, I don't know, some white candle down there and purify the place. I think you're supposed to use a white candle for purification rituals to help ghosts find peace. I don't know. Imagine that, huh, folks? Imagine you're some ghost wandering for 100 years of suffering. Someone just lights a white candle and you go on to the afterlife in peace. It was the war that was most concerning of the title. World War. The first three. There were plenty of people in the known world that never impacted directly in any way by the Jade. By the earlier three wars. But most of the world lost somebody. Most of the known world lost somebody. Jade War. And Houndmaster. Hund? Hund is the German word for hound. Hund. I almost want to use that, but I changed German as a language, so Hund doesn't mean that anymore. Hund doesn't mean anything. I ended up coming up with a weird language that seems almost like Aztec, or at least Aztec as I imagine it to be, with a lot of complicated words, the use of O and P and X. A lot more use of X than you see in most languages. And X is a good letter. I like the letter X. I wonder if I'll ever go completely insane and insist on making my own alphabet for a story. I feel like I'm almost all the way there already. Keep coming up with names for things like trees and forests and stuff. Let's see, hound. Master. They lost some precious to him, such as his brothers and sisters, such as his mother and father, and Dr. Stewart. There's Dr. Stenhara, who had been like a second father to him, though maybe grandfather would be more accurate, since he was an older chap. All of them died back home in the fighting in Australia. Good day, mate. Master didn't know if he was the most noteworthy superhuman. Was not the only superhuman from Australia. But he was pretty sure he was the most powerful. The other boys and girls he knew at the Institute back home died either fighting the Japs or the Jade. I should call the Jade by their slur name here to even it out, because I mean, sometimes the word Japs is a racist term, and sometimes it's just an abbreviation. I think it depends on the culture. I don't know if the Japanese themselves would be offended. The Japanese, I mean, it's strange, like, you know, like you have the outrage culture in our country, like people complaining on behalf of the Japanese, and then they say, well, they ask the actual Japanese if they think this is racist or terrible, and the Japanese say, yeah, we don't care. We don't find it offensive. Yeah. I think it might even be racist now to be offended on behalf of other people. I'm not sure what the term is. It's the outrage cultures on Twitter, they're quite good at making up new terms and words. They miss their calling. Well, no, a lot of them are writers of fiction, and they're pretty bad at it. Because propaganda first, entertainment second. Entertainment should be first priority. First, second, and third priority to someone writing a story. Either, let's see, or the gunks. Is gunk a cap? Do you capitalize slurs? I guess you'd capitalize Jap, but trying to think of the other nasty words that are out there. Boy, there are some explosive words, you know? People say words don't have power. Well, they're quite mistaken. It was words that started the Holocaust, you know? And any other act of genocide. So, how Master imagined his Jade comrades be quite displeased. You can call them gonks. How Master didn't call them this openly, as they were his employers. He had not and never would forgive them for taking the lives of many of his comrades. And he had killed many of their comrades as a soldier of the Jade, of the Commonwealth forces. Sorry if you heard me hiccup, belch, or make any other bodily gestures. Our master was being paid. Well paid to assist in this operation. That made him a traitor. But the rules were a bit different. For superhumans than they were for ordinary people. Men like him, with great powers, could barter and switch sides and avoid prison. Could avoid prison. He could work for the CIA or MI5 or 6 or any organization. MI6 or any other organization. After this was over. The only way he wouldn't find more work was if he died here. And he had no plans on dying. Houndmaster thought of Dominique Bridgerton. Yeah, a lot of people think about her. She's like the god of this world, almost. Or someone who just, on the thoughts of people often, I guess. Almost like a president or other world leader. Even though she's not a politician. What are her political beliefs? I think I had her skewing towards liberal. This was an anti-colonialism bent. It seems like me. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I think if I was alive back then, I would have skewed towards being anti-imperialist, but you never know, right? I mean, maybe I would have been one of these more conservative types who viewed colonialism as a positive thing. And I don't know if I would approve of such things. I mean, you don't know how you would be if you were born in another era. You might have totally different political beliefs. Or, depending on where you're born. Born in New York City, a blue state. I was born in New York, a blue state. Or I was born in, Texas. And not the blue part of Texas, which I think is... What's the blue part of Texas? San Antonio? Austin? I think Austin is the blue part of Texas. You were born in a deep red part of Texas. Well, you'd probably be deep red in mentality. Conservative. Let's see, Dominique. The girl had done things that would have put most people, anybody else, in prison for life. She had swapped sides repeatedly in World War III, much like Selgoria itself, and had been both friend and enemy to the Volgan Union various times. Never again attacked. Did she attack? Did I say that she never again attacked the Volgan Union? Probably. I contradict myself constantly. Need another drink. I've been really thirsty lately at this time of day. I'm not sure why. Like 12:30, my body decides it needs a drink. I don't know why. I had breakfast at like 11:30. It's not like I eat breakfast without drink. Who does that? Let's see, I'm gonna go friend. When I get rich, I'm gonna have a soda fountain in my house, like you see at McDonald's or something, or a 7-Eleven. Maybe I can put a 7-Eleven in my house. Do I want that? I don't know. Maybe I'll just have them build a 7-Eleven. Maybe I'll just have them build a 7-Eleven close to my house. I have a feeling I'll build one and it'll be far away, right? Yeah, I'll have it so that everyone can go there for free. It will be the first communist 7-Eleven. They'll just go in and order whatever the hell they want. As long as they always leave some hot dogs for me. I love them 7-Eleven dogs. Yum yum. Let's see, swap sides. I had both friends and enemies at various times. Master wasn't in her league. Though he was. Anyone could see him from fighting and know he wasn't some lightweight. Houndmaster's hounds had their way with a whole squad of men before him, 10 meters off. Houndmaster gave him the order. the order to attack. Gave the otherworldly beasts the order to attack. Attack as soon as they arrived in the universe. This universe from their own universe. Or dimension, or whatever a scientist would call it. They charged, let's see, indestructible? Are they indestructible? There's nothing in this world that is indestructible. Even the mighty sun, or yellow face as Golem called it. And the moon was the white face. Well. The things the sun would see if it was a sentient being, huh folks? Let's see, they charged a group. 24 charged, like a great pack of wolves. That making noises, buzzing, howling noises. Putting out their terrible buzzing howls as they were charged. They showed off their long mouths full of pink fire. Pink fire, folks. God damn. Some of the soldiers fled in a panic, which did them no good. Others, most stood their ground and opened up. Some from the hip, some aiming down the sights. Some of the walls, some of the hounds were struck down, melting, turning into orbs and dissipating. Orbs? Is that the right word? Most ended up reaching their foes, and diving upon them. The claws, the energy claws, and teeth burned them in. Became buried in flesh. They buried their energy claws into the enemy. And then burst into flame on contact with the hounds. Even men only feet away from the creatures still in a few ways still felt terrible pain and heat from proximity. Master once saw a man consumed in fire, even though he was a foot away from the nearest wound, who had jumped on and killed contact, who had jumped on and killed a nearby comrade. One hound just leapt right through. An enemy rifleman, whose body crumbled around the hound as it burned through him. Whose body that went through one side of his chest, out the other. Another hound missed a man as it jumped at him, but it was still close enough to set his hair scalp on fire. And he screamed, falling to his knees. He was caught by a second hound and reduced to ashes. His screams seemed to echo, go long after his vocal cords and throat were reduced to ash. Other man was seized by two dogs, Holmes and two more men explode into ash when Holmes ran into them. Another few burst into flames. Proxy, staggering about, dropping to the floor. Great dead. A few rifles somehow survived. Survived when their masters didn't. Or they were left molten and useless on the concrete. Like the ground had gone so hot that it was melting modern weaponry. It was melting weaponry. As far as Houndmaster knew, there was no place on Earth where the ground got that hot. At least in the known world. Oh shoot, it's 31 minutes. This is the longest I've gone. See you folks, have a nice day. Wait, there. Two vocal cords, okay.